Yeah, my wonderful people, viewers and subscribers here. Hey, my people, Ovevekuve, if na Aisha Yusufu. She said, Ovevekuve, my dear, waiting to happen, you know that when God wants to bless you, He will make you to be at peace with your enemies. We are talking about what Simon Ekpa is doing. We are talking about the string that he is pulling. We are talking about the BG government going up, down, left, right, and center, making sure that everything is normal. In the 79th United Nations General Assembly, which is UNGA, that is happening in New York, the vice president of the zoo have made it clear to the general world that the Biafrans deserve to have their independence. He didn't preach for Biafra. He rather uses the word Palestinian, that it is right time they have the independence. That what is happening in Palestine, the war is too much. But do you know how this thing, it is to our own advantage? The killings in Palestine is nothing to compare with the kind of killing that is going on in the southeastern part of the country. Yes. Because there's an adage in Igbo language that said, he is calling for the Palestinian independence simply because Palestine and Gaza, they are all Muslims and Fulanis and terrorists in the whole world, threatening the peace of the world. You see how he is calling for Palestinian independence, but refuse to admit that Biafrans are also supposed to have their independence. After the meeting, he was asked a question, but the media did not carry it, but I saw it on one blog, where they asked him about the issue of Biafra and Nigeria. This man blatantly opened their mouth and told them, the people who has interviewed him, that no comment on that very regard. But he was wide open. I mean, he was speculating it like, say, tomorrow, no day, at the United Nations Hall, where he's calling that it's high time for the so-called Palestinians to have their independence. Then what happens to the Biafrans? At least, I know that the prominent men, countries, men of timber and calibers and women of timber and calibers, all are in that hall listening to him, while he is calling for independence of the so-called Palestinian and refuse to admit that even the Biafrans supposed to have their independence because the killings, the asymmetric warfare that the so-called Zojuran government has declared upon the people of Biafra is nothing to write home about. I saw this news this morning, my dear. My heart went into joy, despite the fact that it seemed like I wake up from my left side of my side. The left hand of my side. You know? I was a kind of my day, whether it will be good or bad, but when I see this news, I listen to this Mumu man, called himself Kashim Shetima, where he's vomiting all the whole thing that is coming out from his mouth at the 79th UNGA. And I said, wow, the Biafra is on the right track. They will use what he said to judge him when they will come for Biafran liberation. Because you call for the independence of Palestine and Gaza, they refuse to call for the independence of Biafra, whom you people have been marginalized and been massacring like cows and dogs and chickens for many years, for over 54 years. We thought that 1970 the war have ended, but we don't know that these people still declare war against the Biafrans, both indirectly and indirectly, buying people at will, at ease, at every single provocation. Now, so they will use bombs and armor tank to invade innocent civilians and begin to take them into custody. Most of them have been slaughtered and their private parts taken away and sold to people that use it for whatever reasons. Make gonna listen to this, waiting this Mumu man talk. Make gonna just listen to him, where he is calling for the independence of Biafra. He didn't call Biafra, he used Palestinian, but indirectly, Biafra name is involved. If you have spiritual eye, then you understand what this man is saying, that he is referring to the Biafrans. Rejoice because we are going home. Even without him making that comment, Biafra is also going home. So please like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe to my channel for more interesting videos coming your way. This one is one of the headlines that we are going to hit this morning. 79th UNGA, make on see what they happen again. Oh, the Nigerian so-called government solicit Finland's support for United Nations Security Council permanent seat. They are trying everything humanly possible to lure this small boy Alex Stubb, who happens to be the new elected president of Finland, just to make sure that they get the kind of relationship that will make them to hit Simon Ekpa. But I'm very sure that these people are even more smarter than them. Finland is a population of about 5 million or 6 million or thereabout, but they are more intelligent than this Mumu man called Shishim Chetima. That is what Tinubu sent him to go there to do. Get these people in ties, hit them with some offer that they will not reject, and once we get in touch with them, we sweep in and arrest Simon Ekpa or abduct Simon Ekpa, not arrest, because what they do is abduction, kidnapping. So now they get close to Finland, and I'm sure Simon Ekpa saw this, and he will call his friend, which is Alex Tube, and tell him, never mind these people, look at their plans. We are very, very much ahead of them in whatever reason, in whatever tactics or whatever plans they bring up forward. Edwin Clark raises alarm over plot by powerful politicians to hijack state, judiciary, and local government. Not over plan, they have already done that since long time ago. Collation of 51 accredited observers give report on a Edo governorship election. Anyway, my people, make on listen to this Mumu man's speech at the UNGA, which is a United Nations General Assembly taking place in New York. Then after the news, we read, after the voice news, then we read everything that is being contained on this very particular video. Oh yeah, let's go there. There's no time to take time.
Today, we are all witnesses to the heart-wrenching situation in Gaza and other Palestinian territories. We cannot discuss war and peace, conflicts and resolution, or humanitarian imperatives today without reflecting on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict that has been raging since 7th August last year. Of course, the conflict predates this period and has been simmering for a better part of half a century. What it tells us is that the international community has failed to live up to the spirit and aspirations of the United Nations to rid the world of inequality, violence, and domination of one people by another. Justice is antithetical to revenge. Freedom is an inalienable right and a natural entitlement that cannot be denied to any people. The Palestinian people deserve their independence. They deserve to have a home of their own in territories already recognized by this very assembly and by international law, which is being routinely ignored. Nigeria continues to urge efforts to bring back on track the two-state solution that offers the prospect for a new beginning for the region. Nigeria reaffirms to supporting United Nations peacekeeping operations. We recognize the need for Africa to build strong and professional armies to meet the multiple challenges we face. Consequently, we reiterate the call for international support to operationalize the African standby force, in addition to the provision of requisite support and resources to ensure the upgrade, take-up, and effectiveness.
Okay, let us read the news that follows it. The Nigerian Vice President Kashim Shettima took a strong stand in support of Palestinian independence during the 2024 United Nations General Assembly, UNGA. Okute News reports that his remarks were made against the backdrop of the ongoing Israel and the Hamas war, which began on October 7 of 2023, when Hamas launched a devastating assault on the Israelis. In response, the Israel Defense Forces, IDF, have carried out extensive aerial strikes and ground operations in the Gaza Strip. According to reports, by September 2024, the conflict had claimed the lives of 41,431 Palestinians and 1,706 Israelis, escalating concerns on both sides of the divide. Addressing this development at the 79th session of the General Assembly, Shettima highlighted the need to reflect on the enduring Israeli-Palestinian conflict when discussing issues of war, peace, and humanitarian efforts. We cannot talk about war and peace, conflicts and reconciliation, or humanitarian needs today without considering the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Shettima declared while addressing global leaders. He emphasized that the Palestinian people are entitled to freedom and independence. Speaking further, he remarked on the heart-wrenching conditions in Gaza and other Palestinian territories, stating that what we are witnessing today is a clear failure by the international community to uphold the principles and aspirations of the United Nations, eliminating inequality, violence, and domination of one people over another. Justice and freedom must be prioritized. He called on the world leader to recognize the rights of Palestinians, reiterating that their question for independence and recognition territories is backed by the international law and should be disregarded. Shetima said freedom is a natural entitlement that can be denied to any people. The Palestinian people deserve independence. They deserve to have their own territories already recognized by this very assembly and international law, which is being routinely ignored. Happiness filled my heart hearing this thing. He said that freedom is an inalienable right to any man. So they have just murdered 141,000 in the Gaza strips by the Israelites. And Israelites have lost over 1,706 of their soldiers on that very particular war. And I ask, how many millions of people have the Biafrans lose since 1967 till date? That is the question that is hanging on the air for this woman called Shetima to answer. Or you, if you know the answer, drop it at the comment section. Nigeria has solicited the support of Finland in its pursuit of a permanent seat at the United Nations Security Council. They want to go in there now and corrupt them. The Vice President Kasim Shetima explained Nigeria remains a super force in Africa and will do all within its reach to close cultural links and ties in the effort to reunite the economic community of West African states and further leave no stone unturned in the quest to stabilize Africa. According to the spokesman Stanley Nkwocha, Shetima stated this on Tuesday during a meeting with the President and the Republic of Finland, Alexander Stubb, on the sidelines of the ongoing 79th session of the United Nations General Assembly in New York, United States. Vice President Kasim Shetima said the support has become necessary given Finland's role as a European and NATO member and considering the role Nigeria has played over the past years in entrenching democratic values and peaceful cohesion. Nigeria has 25 years of uninterrupted democracy, and in the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is a president with good democratic credentials and commitment waiting him in the saddle. Africa and the larger world will be safe, futuristic, acceptable, and more peaceful, Shetima stated. On his part, President Stubb of Finland expressed total support for the expansion and reconstruction of the United Nations Security Council, saying the dictates and dynamics of the modern world demands such change. He expressed Finland's continued desire to partner with Nigeria as well as opening new frontiers of development between the both countries. Moving forward, Edwin Clark don't raise alarm, will say these people now don't they capture what they call them. They say that the powerful politicians want to capture, but rather they have already captured those areas. I don't even know what this old man is talking about. South leader Edwin Clark has advised the President of the Senate, Godswill Akpabio, to ensure that powerful politicians do not hijack state judiciary and local government. He warned the Senate President that some powerful politicians have been regrouping and planning to control their various state judicial and local governments. The leader of the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum made the allegations in a statement he released on Wednesday. He urged the Senate President to endeavor that he has the hijacking of the public debates in the various state houses of assembly. The other statement said the identified persons want some accounts to be removed without debate as provided in the Section 9 of the 1999 Constitution. He stressed that they have won the Congress of their political parties in their various states and are now waiting to take over party structures through dubious means because it is the National Assembly that can amend the Constitution as provided. Part of the statement read, Mr. Senate President, the information floating around town is that this dangerous anti-democratic group in the National Assembly is regrouping and want to control their various state judicial and local governments. They want state account to be removed without debate as provided for in the Section 9 of the 1999 Constitution as quoted above. This group of persons have won the congresses of their political parties in their various states and are now waiting to take over the party structures through dubious means because it is the National Assembly that can amend the Constitution as provided. Please, this country is divided and it is failing. This is the time for the various arms of the government to perform their duties according to the law. The purpose of this write-up, therefore, is to kindly appeal to you not to allow this nefarious group to hijack the public debates in the various states House of Assembly, where the debate will be held having regard to the powers of the state governors and some mischievous, ambitious, and powerful politicians over their state House of Assembly. Everyone in the country is under strict compulsion to obey the Constitution. I repeat, here Section 1.1, which says, this Constitution is supreme and is previous, and its provisions shall have binding force on all authorities and persons throughout the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This includes the Supreme Court Judiciary, the President, Executive, and the National Assembly, which is the legislature. The last but not the least, coalition of 51 accredited observers gave report on the Edo governorship selection. The Center for Credible Leadership and the Citizens Awareness announced yesterday that the governorship election in Edo State was conducted in a manner that was free, fair, and credible. According to CCLCA, the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) adhered to the most of the established electoral standards. Liars from the pit of hell. The center, which is comprised of a coalition of 51 observers, organizations accredited by INEC, held a press conference in Benin City, the capital of Edo State. During the event, Dr. Gabriel Nwambu, the convener of the center, along with the secretary, Mr. Osaretin Omo, stated that the coalition was providing an impartial report based on their observations. Okute News report that the submission of this coalition differs from those of UNGA Africa and the Center for Democracy and Development, which raised concerns regarding the elections conduct. Nevertheless, in its assessment of the overall execution of the election, CCLCA reported that it observed the distribution of both sensitive and non-sensitive electoral materials from the Central Bank of Nigeria in Benin City to the local government offices of INEC. Also, it observed the subsequent transfer to various registration area centers, RAC, was carried out under stringent security measures. I don't go back to my tongue. We noted that the election materials were ultimately moved to the 4,518 polling units by INEC ad hoc staff, predominantly National Youth Service Corps members. Voting commenced around 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. in most of the polling units. The delay in some areas was due primarily to heavy rainfall, with a few instances of logistical challenges. Noted in certain rec centers, electoral materials and staff were prepared for movement but lacked police escorts. Although these instances were minimal, they warrant attention, the CCLCA noted. It, however, observed some anomalies. Vote buying was observed in some polling units, notably more sophisticated than in previous elections. An incident of concern involved military personnel denying access to accredited observers despite proper identification. Similarly, the center also strongly condemned the unauthorized declaration by Governor Ahmed Fintiri of Adamawa State, in which the governor declared that the candidate of the People's Democratic Party (PDP) was a validly elected candidate. We are compelled to address a severe violation that occurred post-election. The governor of Adamawa State, Mr. Ahmed Fintiri, held a press conference declaring the candidate of his party as the winner of the Edo State governorship election. This action blatantly contravenes Section 178 and 179 of the so-called 1999 Constitution of the Fulani Republic of Nigeria as amended and undermines the authority of INEC. Such behavior is unbecoming of a public office holder and could erode public trust in our democratic process, the CCLCA noted. Part of the text in their address reads in part, "We are relieved to report that the election concluded without violence, despite the inflammatory remarks made by some politicians, including the outgoing governor, who referred to the election as a do-or-die affair. The collation of results was conducted meticulously, adhering to the provisions of the Electoral Act of 2022 as amended and the 1999 Constitution of the Fulani Republic Government as amended of Nigeria." Voila. The center therefore strongly recommended that Fintiri be held accountable for upsurging the powers of INEC and appropriate legal action should be taken, saying he has to be prosecuted in 2027 as the immunity is lifted. Further investigations into the logistic failures witnessed, including the absence of police escort and delays caused by transport workers, should be conducted to ensure future elections run smoothly. We acknowledge the relatively low voter turnout of 22%, largely contributable to adverse weather conditions. However, we assert that the Edo State governorship election of September 21, 2024 was conducted in line with the Electoral Act of 2022 and a 1999 Constitution as amended. We, as the 51 INEC accredited observers organization, hereby unequivocally declare that this election was transparent, free, fair, and credible. Importantly, we report no loss of life on election day, which reflects positively on the overall conduct. We recommend the Inspector General of Police for the professionalism exhibited by officers in the discharge of their duties, as well as INEC for overseeing a credible election. Lastly, we applaud the people of Edo State for their peaceful disposition, demonstrating their unwavering love for peace, the center concluded. So, my good people, I don't hear Ramona here, we go take back break. Everything still remain campe and the way it's supposed to be. We're gonna begin to jubilate because Kashim Ali Sharif Chetima, the chairman and the CEO, and also the president of the Boko Haram in Borno State, have come out to applaud the world and also to let them know that it is time the Biafran Republic the Republic of Biafra get their independence the same way he is agitating for the Muslim side, Palestinians, to get their independence as well. So have a nice day, and may the good Lord continue to bless us all. Like, share, comment, and make sure you subscribe. Kemesiano, my wonderful people. I'll be right back again, Bikonu. Man, no verse.